So hi guys, hi Elena. Just first of all, just wondering if there is an update on the squad, any new injuries or anything.
Hopefully, we have two players in now for the squad on Sunday, which will be Kit and Murphy. So that's a really positive news.
Yeah, definitely. Is that would Kit be fit enough almost to start? She's been off for quite a while, or
We'll see about that on Sunday.
okay, sorry. I also just wanted to ask, start of the week, you kind of talked about transfer targets coming in this week, getting to the end of the week. Any news for anybody?
Hopefully, there's some news today. A nice Friday for everyone.
Yeah, hi. Um, yeah, I also wanted to ask, there's been a bit of news this week, or I suppose news about Celtic and Rangers and this idea that they could move to WSL. I think most people in the room kind of know that there's not much to it. But I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that as an idea in the first place. And if there's anything else you've seen across your travels as a pretty well-traveled coach in other countries that maybe Scotland could do better or things Scotland are doing all right.
Uh, I think if we talk about the Women's Super League rumors, like that's nothing that we can focus on, and that's nothing that we should think about because that's, whatever happens, happens. The focus that we have is about what we can do domestically in Scotland, and that's winning trophies. And that's the main focus we have because that's the only thing we can control. Whatever is said or what the rumors are, like that's something that can be out there, but we need to focus on our job, and our job is to be representing Celtic, who is a massive club in Scotland, and we're all about doing our very best to win trophies.
Okay. Yeah, you talk about winning those trophies then. How important is would be winning this trophy be for you as a manager? Obviously, you lost this game basically last year, one of your first games in charge. How motivated are you to put that right and start winning more trophies with Celtic?
No, obviously we obviously I as the head coach, but also me as a part of the group, a part of the team. We I think it's been like I said before, we've been a bit inconsistent with our performance, but I do believe that what we're doing right now is something that we're doing really well. We're creating chances, we're scoring goals. I think many players are playing good football. And obviously, I remember my first game against Rangers. At this point, it was the same, competition. And we know that if we win on Sunday, we will play a final in March, I think. So, it just takes us one step closer to what we want to achieve every season, and that's winning trophies and winning titles. So we know that it's a massive game for us, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we win on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, well, looking to try and win that game then. What is it are you expecting to see then from this Rangers team? Obviously, before the break, they had some two pretty high-profile losses to Hibs and City. How much do you think you can take away from those two games?
I mean, we just need to keep building on what we have been doing because I think we've been playing really good football, and if we can create many chances and score goals, we know that we're a good defending team. We also know that Rangers is a good team as well. So it's going to be a great game for everybody to watch because it's a Glasgow Derby, and we all know what that means for both of the teams. But our focus is about what we can do and how to get out the best performance from ourselves, and that's the only focus we have. So we want to win, and that's as simple as that.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple for Amy as well then. First of all, Amy, just for you, I was wondering, I think it's been a bit of chat about this new system that you guys have developed and started trading out in Gran Canaria. I was just wondering how you have found this new system so far. Does it feel like a natural evolution, and do you feel confident playing in this system?
Yeah, I think obviously we've changed system, but I think it's good as a squad, as a team, we can play different systems. We've got players that can play in different positions, which I think helps. So I think when we come up against teams that maybe don't know what we're going to play, the style of football we're going to play. So yeah, I think it's only been positive. We've played it now for a few weeks, so hopefully we just keep getting better.
Yeah, and it's kind of put you into a bit of like a almost number 10 position, kind of seemingly being able to kind of roam around there. Is that where you feel the most comfortable as a player?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously on Wednesday there I was able to get in the box more and crossing, finishing, creating chances for my team. So I'm just happy to contribute in any way I can. Yeah.
So you've, as you say, been doing this as a new-ish system for a couple few weeks. Had what, like maybe two competitive games, I suppose, since the break. How do you feel in this system, confident in how you guys are playing to come out now against a team like Rangers and put it to the test?
Yeah, I think Wednesday there was probably the best we played in a while, and I think obviously a lot of players are going into Sunday with a lot of confidence. Obviously it's a cup game, so form kind of goes out the window, but it's a Glasgow Derby, so everyone will be up for it, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, and just finally as well, I guess the form against Rangers in the past few years for Celtic's not been very good. I think Celtic have only won maybe two or three in the past couple of years. Um, what is it about this Rangers team that maybe you guys have struggled to get wins against them despite maybe playing well in other games?
I don't think we necessarily struggle against them. I just think every game we play against them is close. Every game's tight. I know we've maybe not won them, but I think we've still competed well, and it can go either way on the day. So I think we just need to go in with confidence, and hopefully we can get into the next round and get into a final.
Just going back to what you're talking about with the WSL, um, appreciate you're not going to want to get distracted by that talk, but is it a move that you would welcome?
I think it's a tricky question because obviously when it comes to that question, we can say like competing against Arsenal, Chelsea, the teams that we like Chelsea we had in Champions League. It's a different level. If it's nice to play against those teams, yes, but like I said, I think we're doing just fine in Scotland right now. We're competing and we're trying to make sure that we are dominating here, and that's what we need to focus on right now. Is how can we get better? How can we be more dominate? And how can we make sure that we're the best team in Scotland? So that's what the only focus I have. And like I said, it's been so nice to play in Champions League because we played against the best teams out in Europe, and we got a great experience. And that's something I think we can highlight is we played with a 4-back line throughout the whole Champions League and we competed against the best teams. So that's the only focus. So that's my answer to that question.
I think Sonia Bamposter, who you obviously got to come up against a couple of times in that Champions League campaign, she said it was something that would be good for the WSL but bad for the SWPL. Do you have that sort of in your mind with that duty you have to Scottish football as well as perhaps your ambitions and the club's ambitions?
I mean, if you look at what Celtic is about, and we have the best fans, in my opinion. When I looked at if you look at our games, like the atmosphere that our fans created in Champions League and some of the games that we've been playing here at the Paradise, it's been amazing. And the players that has played against us, they know what kind of atmosphere our fans can create, and I think everybody wants to experience that when they play against us. So I understand that Sonia said that about us, but yeah, Celtic is a big club, and I understand Sonia's opinion about that.
Elena, I was just going to ask you, like, obviously this week is like your sort of first anniversary of being in charge, but what is the difference between you now and where you were with this team just when you played Rangers at the same stage a year ago?
Well, obviously what I think is, I remember obviously when we lost the game just almost 1 year ago, but after then, I think we've been competing really well. I don't think that the girls are fearing them, I don't know if it's the right word, but I do know that the girls are confident that we can, win against Rangers. And if you look at the games we've played so far, the first game that we tied, I think that's a game that we should have won, in my opinion. The second game, there was something in the games that made it harder for us to compete, but I think we competed really well, and obviously Rangers won 3-2, and that's something that happens in football sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose and sometimes you tie. But I feel like standing here in front of this big game that we have, I'm very confident that we can win. And I think the players are feeling the same thing, that we're not fearing them. We know that there's a good team, but we're not fearing them, and that's something that we're really looking forward to.
There was, a sense of grievance about a penalty award the last time the teams met. Like, is that an injustice that can fuel your desire going into Sunday's game?
No, I wouldn't say injustice. I think that's something that football is about. Like, sometimes you get decisions with you, and sometimes you get it against you, and that's just football. And I think that's something that I like with not having war. Sometimes that is football. Decisions are made, and you just need to accept it and move on. And obviously, like, I don't think that that's the only reason. I don't think that our first half was good enough against Rangers. And we know that if we want to win against Rangers, we need to start strong, and we need to finish strong, and that's what we need to focus on. What decisions are made, that's something we can't control, and we just need to focus on what we need to do well.
Oh, you lost the pace in the dugout. I think you were sent off in the last game because things got a bit heated.
Yeah, I think the refs have found me very calm on the dugout, and I've said it before. I will make sure that I don't get a red card again. It's not what I want. I want to support the players as much as possible. So I'm not happy with myself for getting that red card. But obviously, sometimes when you are very passionate about something, and especially in Glasgow Derby, you want to make sure that everything is, and sometimes you can't really control it, and I didn't control it good last time, but I've learned from it, and I'll try to not do the same thing.
Is that just indicative of the fact that this game is a little bit different from any other game, just because it's a derby?
Yeah, 100%. I think the Glasgow Derby is obviously different. There's a big history between us and them, and that's something that we know, but that's something that I do love. I love that there's more pressure and there's more things going on around these games, and they mean more. It's a great game to experience, and I love being a part of it, so I'm really looking forward for it again on Sunday.
I think obviously this is a cup game, it would take you into a final, but psychologically, what would a win do for you too that you could then take into the league?
I mean, what it will do with us mentally, if we win on Sunday, we're one step closer to one of our goals, and that is winning a trophy. So I think it's just focusing on our performance and do it really well, because we know that if we don't win, we're not going to play on the final. So that's the only thing that we need to focus on, is make sure that we are there on Sunday and we do our very, very best, and hopefully that will give us the win, because we are here, and the player that is sitting next to me, like, I know that she is very eager to do the very best we can, because that's what we are all about, and we want to do that because we want to win as many trophies as possible. So that's what's going to change us in the mentality part, is we know that we are one step closer, and hopefully that will make us even more hungry.
The last time you played Rangers in a cup game was the Scottish Cup semi-final at Hampden, and you were really frustrated that the team didn't get going at all. It was a really insipid performance. How important is it that you go into this one just and start well?
I think it was a different occasion in that game. I think because we were in the situation of, we were number one in the league, and it was the first time we were number one in the league that late in the season, and I think that was a different maybe pressure, or the players maybe were, I don't know, like thinking about the next game, and the next game was Glasgow City, and I think it was just too much happening around that time. And like I've always said, we always learn, and we know that we just need to focus on one game at one time and do the very best we can at that moment, and that's exactly what we're going to do on Sunday. We have nothing else to think about than that game, and really looking forward again to Sunday.
Brilliant. Thank you. Amy, can I just ask you, do you feel as though you're judged differently in these games, kind of what you do in these high-profile games?
Yeah, I think so. I think as players we probably put pressure on ourselves to perform in big games. I think obviously playing against the lesser teams in the league, you want to be playing well, but I think obviously the more meaningful games higher up the table, you know, top 3-4 teams in the league, you want to be performing well. So yeah, we put pressure on ourselves as players to go out and perform and get 3 points and get trophies, so looking forward to it.
How do you prepare for a game like this?
Just the same as every other game, I think. We've got to treat it as any other game, take each game as it comes. I know it's a cup game, as I said, and form kind of goes out the window, but it'll be obviously more aggressive than our recent games, but it's one we'll be up for as a team.
Do you feel as though like there's a kind of feeling amongst the players that you might have a point to prove against Rangers? I think it's maybe 4 games without a win over them, albeit that those games have been really close. But do you feel as though there's maybe a point to go and prove?
I think just within ourselves, we obviously want to win every game. Obviously, we've not won against them in a while, but it's not something we're thinking about. Every game's been tight against them. We could have won every game we played against them, and I think our performance levels are high just now, so we're going into the game with confidence. How
important was that on Wednesday night that you got a big result, not just got the win, but got a win with a particular kind of display? Does it just put you in the best foot going into this one on Sunday? Yeah,
I think, as I said before, it's probably the best we've played in a while, so I think it was a good time to do it. A lot of players are scoring goals, getting used to the new formation. So yeah, we're just going into Sunday with confidence and hopefully we can get through at the final.